Welcome back, everybody. This is the Solomon Project. As always, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. Yeah, there have been lottery winners that won tons of money, and in a short period of time, they have nothing. Oh, Tony T is what? Hang on, Tony. Let me get the thing, the thing here. Hold on. Here we go. I'm back. Let me get that's not it. That is not it. That's not it. Hang on, T. Let me get that here we go. I think I got it right this time. Let me copy. Okay. Let me post. Let me post this thing. Jeez. There we go. Here we go. There it is. Let me put a star on this thing. Wait, anybody who comes in can get on. All right. We're good now. Should be posted. It should be there. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing how some people can make a fortune. There was a lady, Elizabeth, I forget what her last name is, but she had created a company called Theranos. I don't remember her last name. Out of Silicon Valley, one of them things. And she was getting a lot of money from a lot of very wealthy individuals for the sake of being a part of this company that she had developed. Something having to do with the ability to, you know what? Let me not let me not let me get it right. Let me get the information right. Yeah, here we go. Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes. Here we go. Tony T is in the house. Tony
Can
T
ya
in his house.
can ya hear me? I'm in the truck stop. You are driving like a maniac.
We hear you loud and clear. How do you hear us?
Good.
Tony T. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos. She's doing time now.
What
She
is she
was up
was in
there.
for?
So she is
Treason?
no, not treason.
If she's not in for treason, then
Fraud.
she's for
Fraud.
fraud. What kind of
Yeah.
fraud? There's so many fraudulent
Corporate.
people out here.
Corporate. Corporate
Corporate
fraud.
fraud.
Yeah.
Should we get Elon? Should we get Bill
Well,
Gates?
Elon is in a lot of trouble.
Or
Elon is in a lot of trouble.
I'm gonna mention you of all the corporate. Can we get Elon? Can we get Bill? Can we get
Who?
Bill Gates? Can we get who
Well,
else?
no, 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 no. Talk about people who actually have cases that have actual evidence against them. That
Man, evidence gets tarnished. You know,
it
some
can,
odium,
it can,
some
it can,
odium
but
falls, some odium falls on top of it. Oops! Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, but they don't all get away though. So it all depends. Look at Martha Stewart. She didn't get away.
Damn, bro. And I still think about Martha Stewart. She should never have gone to jail. Let's put it
Why
this
not?
way. In her self-defense, other people have done the same thing or worse.
Okay.
And-
So
and-
if somebody's a mugger, should he get away because other people have mugged and done worse things when they mugged?
Oh no, other people have killed and they gotten away with it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so just because they've gotten away with it, then every mugger, every killer should get away with it? I don't know.
No,
I don't know about that
no,
one.
no. That's what I'm trying to say. If Martha
Some
Stewart
people,
goes down, if Martha Stewart goes down for inside trading, we got a lot. We got a huge list in Congress.
yeah, well, that's a separate thing going on right there. But with regards to anyone
No, I
who
don't-
does something illegal, just because I see somebody do something illegal, they don't automatically get sentenced to prison. There's a process.
Okay, on that I understand what you're trying to say, but like I said, she got in trouble and she didn't know, maybe because of her broker, whatever. I don't know, whatever the excuse was. But the thing is, people that know for sure directly.
No, she got convicted by a jury of her peers. So evidence was brought to the court. Some people that have nothing to do with her, nothing to do with her broker, nothing to do with anything. They sat there, listened to the evidence that was presented, and they made a decision based on that presentation. So
Yep.
those were ordinary people. And the way it works in court is that the defense gets to pick and choose, and so does the prosecution. They get to pick and choose. So no one side can say, well, they're all the prosecutor's pick, or they can't say that they're all the defense's pick. Nobody can say that.
No. I'm not saying that they pick, but I'm just saying that for the same kind of crime, other people are getting away with it.
Well, then either there's no evidence to present in court, or the evidence is so weak. I mean, yeah, I can claim that my neighbor is coming over to my yard and stealing the
mangoes.
The mangoes that I'm getting through Amazon. You got those. Hey, what's going on, Block? I think I put a star on the invitation in case you want to come up. But and by the way, welcome. So
Welcome. I don't know who he is, but welcome there, my friend.
So if somebody's snatching my packages from my front door or whatever the case is, I can have an idea of who it is, and I can say, hey, I call the cop and say, hey, this person is doing this. And the cop might ask me, well, how do you know? No, I know. Okay, well then, what can you give us to show us that that's the case? You got one of those cameras on your door? Did you see it? No, I don't have that, but I know it's him. Oh, well, they can't go by, I know it's him. That's not.
Well,
you can accuse anybody you want of anything. And on an accusation, yeah, they can wind up in court. But the court is going to want evidence. There's a procedure, there's a process, and you either got
So now,
what
yes, sir.
the court needs or you don't.
So, so now that I veer off your topic, so anyway, go back to
Mm.
that woman because I have no idea who that woman is.
Her
I
name
want
is
to know.
Elizabeth Holmes. She had a corporation called Theranos. She was lying to the investors. She was lying to the public about what her medical, whatever that was supposed to
Her
be
medical
able to perform.
credentials,
No, not her
her
medical
credentials.
credentials. Not her medical credentials. She had some kind of test, something to test out the blood for something, and it was supposed to be accurate and this all that, and it wasn't. It wasn't anywhere near that, and she just kept lying to her investors, lying to everybody that this thing could actually do what she claimed it does, and as a result, charges were brought against her. She was found guilty in the court, and now she's doing time, and she was a billionaire. So yeah, and there are other billionaires that have lost all their billions. There are billionaires or deca millionaires that have lost their fortunes. So that's the whole point of saying it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. Right now, Elon is in a bad place. He's in a bad place. He owes Morgan Stanley money for Tesla and for X. He owes the Saudis. He owes Qatar. He hasn't been paying employees. He's getting sued for that. He's in a bad place. He's a billionaire. You got a lot of noise going on there, T.
Yeah, I'm in the truck stop. I'm walking towards the trucks to warm up my food.
Oh, okay. So
I'm moving around.
there's he's the right now he's the wealthiest person in the world again because he had fallen a couple of notches, but
Well, the
one
thing is,
notch.
he's wealthier because he had a lot of subsidies, he had a lot of freedom, he got a lot of loans from us, taxable money. So now,
Well, he's not the only one, but the thing is, he's in a bad place. All right, he could be the richest man in the world, and in 3 to 6 years from now, he could be in prison too. He can have nothing.
Hey, he's gonna walk into the prison if all goes through the Democrats. If they win, Trump is gonna go to jail. Elon's gonna go to jail. They're gonna hold hand in hand, and they're gonna share cells.
Well, it's got nothing to do with politics. It's got nothing to do with politics. They committed whatever they committed. They committed the acts that they committed, and
But that's what I'm saying.
whoever accuses them.
If Trump wins, he's not going to go to jail, and nor Elon. But if he loses, he's going to go to jail.
Well, that's
supposedly
that's the case.
No,
well, I don't know if it's that simple, but
it is. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I'm not gonna say with certainty about anything, but yeah, there is one aspect of what you're saying that I do agree with. That I think that the relationship that Elon is trying to establish with Trump is for the sake of maybe being pardoned or something, because the truth of the matter is that the industry that Elon is about something associated with the Green Deal, and Trump has no interest in the Green Deal, and he has said that many times. He has expressed that many times. He's got no interest and no respect for the Green Deal, whatever the Green Deal is. Okay.
Exactly.
However, so that's pretty much on the opposite end of how Elon has been making his fortune. And it's interesting because I was watching an interview with him, with Elon and his brother, and they were joking around about the fact that they
Exactly.
were in this country, making their fortune as illegal, whatever the term is, illegal immigrants, and they were laughing about that because I don't know if people know this or not, but Elon and his brother, they're not Americans. They might be citizens now, but they were undocumented immigrants during this interview, and it was a big joke to them. And yet here he is making more of a fortune because he was born into wealth, making more of a fortune here than he did back in South Africa. And he's got his little army of fanboys and girls helping to pump up Tesla. And X went private, but he owes money on X. He owes Morgan Stanley, I think it is. So Elon is not in a good place. And he might be the wealthiest man in the world now. He convinced all his shareholders to vote so that he can get $53 billion as a payment. Some people were bugging out, wondering why why people should vote on letting him get that, because Tesla's underperforming, X is not doing well, SpaceX is in jeopardy, and if you want to be a serious investor, one of the things you have to be careful of is part of personality. It's very dangerous for your pocket, very dangerous for your bank account. Becoming a cult of personality, participating in a cult of personality. So you got people who don't see what happened. What the heck? Who's Tony Jones? I don't know who Tony Jones is. So, hi, Tony Jones. Yeah, I'm okay. And so, you know, if you're part of a cult of personality, you're going to be in denial when evidence pops up and you totally disregard it. You're gonna suffer. Your pockets are gonna suffer. Your bank account is gonna suffer. All that's gonna suffer.
Yeah,
That's if and only if you want to become a serious investor. Now, there are people. Okay, I'm here to. Sorry, Tony Jones, but I experienced something in another channel that I had, and so as a result, I don't invite people up on that I'm not connected to, that I don't know. My apologies to you, Tony Jones, but for the protection of my channel, I don't. The only people I invite up are people who I actually know. So my apologies. And so going back to this whole thing about being a serious investor, and yeah, you know, on the surface, you can look at the performance of Tesla, for example, and say, you know, Tesla has has done very well. But it's gotten to the point where now you got what you call these pumpers, people who are pumping the stock up. And believe it or not,
That's why you gotta watch out.
there are professional investors that pump up the stock too, but it's in their own best interest that they do that. They're taking advantage of people that don't understand or don't want to know about how these things operate.
I don't
And you're
want
going
to
to
get into
hear,
it too much. I don't want to get into it too much, but like this week, interest rate, Powell talks, stock market does well. You know, it's all manipulation too, as well, in some way or form. But you know, and then why you lowering the interest rate right now? I thought, oh, it's election time. Yeah, got to make them look good. After 4 years, you couldn't cut the fucking interest rate. Oops, sorry, I said the F word. You couldn't
it
cut the
may not
interest
have
rate.
it may not have anything to do with with politics. It could be corporations that are putting the pressure on. It could be banks that are putting the pressure on them.
Yeah, because the thing is, right now, look, the housing market in Florida. I think I send you tons of information on that. The
Right.
insurance companies. There's so much things going on, and we talked about it the other day about the insurance company. How much of a, I don't want to curse again, of a crook, of twisted minded. I ain't gonna say the a-holes that they are, because
Hmm.
you're okay by taking the contribution, and this is something that they're profiting. I think insurance should not be a system of profit. Yeah, you should make some money to pay your workers or your agents or your brokers or whatever the hell it is. But to be at a marginal profit of 300%, 400%, and then when somebody puts a claim, here we are. Your premiums got to go up. What?
Yep.
Your premiums got to go
Hmm.
up. So it's like, bro, no, 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 no. We have to find some government officials that put a stop to all this nonsense. It's getting out of hand. That's what it is.
Well, you gotta convince enough people to vote for that type of person.
Yeah, that's what it is. Every time we got these two parties, and like I said, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but the whole shit is that it's getting all messed up. We're giving too much power to these people, and it's like what you're saying. The market, people's investment, even if you invest, you're at a risk. You're at a risk even with the insurance company. We talked about this. You get into a car, you put so many claims, they'll blacklist you and they won't give you insurance. I had a friend of mine in a car. This is not even a commercial vehicle. In a car, State Farm will not insure him. Oh, we can't insure you. Why? I don't know. In the past, you put too many claims.
Uh-huh.
Insurance is for you to cover anything that happens to the car, right? If you fix it, engine problem, yeah, there's warranty. But what the insurance company are, they're depending on that you have warranty. What if you don't have warranty no more? You know, insurance is is money for you to get backed up. It's money that you're contributing in just a case. It's like a rainy day. It's like insurance is like your Social Security, which is no more Social Security in this country as well too. If I go on and on, it's gonna be 5 hours of this. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
That's understandable. But with those 5 hours, I still acknowledge the fact that there are people that are doing well. There are people that are investing intelligently. There are people that are not allowing themselves to be manipulated by all these content creators, by the
oh
media,
yeah, of
and
course.
those are the people that I focus on. Those are the people that I want to observe, that I want to analyze, that I want to um, follow. Let's say, because okay, yeah, the world is loaded with some terrible people. It's loaded with them. But what about the people that make it? How are they making
Yeah,
it? What are the choices that they're making? That's my focus.
I mean,
Not that I'm complaining about what I learned, and as you've been mentoring me, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just complaining that I could see right away. I'm a person. I don't know. Maybe I was born. Maybe I have. Maybe I'm autistic as an analyst or something like that. I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I'm an analytical person. Anal. I don't know if I'm anal, whatever it is. But the thing is, I can't. I see something. I'm like, it brightens my head. It's like there's something about to happen here, and it captures me a lot when you see all these bankers and Jamie Dimon and all this news and all this stuff. The manipulation goes across the board. It's just that you have to be smart about it, how you do it. Yeah, you're right. On that,
Hmm.
I give you credit on that. You got to be watching out. You got to be on your stuff. You can't just invest and forget. I know people that do that a lot. They invest and forget. They just put money in, but you don't know if you're contributing to a company that's going bankrupt.
Nope.
You got to be looking at it. That's why I say there's such manipulation in the five finger helping hand. You got to watch out. It's not all the time it's going to be perfect. Nothing is perfect in this world.
Nope.
Nothing is perfect and nothing will be. Sorry to tell you that. All you
But yet
people
there's
out
still
there,
people that make it.
yeah,
They make their fortunes and they keep their fortunes. So what's up with that?
I don't know. I want to learn from. I want to ask them that question. I'm investing. I want to keep my fortune.
Hmm.
I agree with it.
Well, one way to do it is by not allowing yourself to be directed in into things that appeal to your greed or your fear. That's one way.
That's true. Bon appetit.
Because thank you. So, which is one of the things that we try to talk about on this channel. Which is one of the things that I opened up with regards to keeping the money that you make. And I use Elizabeth Holmes as an example of how things can go wrong, terribly wrong.
Very wrong.
And she had some very well-known investors in her corner,
What was that other
very
guy that
well
they made a
known.
movie? They made a movie about him that Robert De Niro was playing. The one with the Ponzi scheme.
I'm not sure which one that is.
Oh, what's his name?
Robert.
No, the one on the Ponzi scheme in Manhattan. Big case. He died in jail, I think.
Oh, Bernie Madoff.
Madoff. Yeah,
Yeah,
him. Perfect
Bernie
example.
Madoff. He's one of many. He's one of many. Look at Enron, an energy company of all things,
Oh,
and it fell apart. An
oh,
energy
you
company.
man. You see, it did not fall apart. Did you
Huh?
know
Uh-huh.
that? Did you know that there's an insurance company and it's one of the ex people is it was created by the ex people of the company of Enron. Forgot the name of the freaking insurance. It was in that documentary that I sent you about the insurance company in Florida.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I didn't see the documentary. Sorry about that, but I know who you're talking about.
Oh, but yeah, he's there. The guy,
Yeah.
the whole entire administration of Enron is controlling that. And guess who was the one that you know signed a bill to help him out? You know who?
DeSantis.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not uncommon to have people vote against their own interest. DeSantis has a history, a political history. Again, when you go vote, you are a supervisor. They're putting in the politician is putting in their application to be voted on. The question is, are you reading the application? Are you going over their history? When you fill out an application, sometimes they want a 10-year history of who you worked for, of who you're working with now. And if there's a gap in your employment, they're going to trash your application. But yet when we go vote, we don't behave
Nope.
like the supervisors we're supposed to be.
Nope.
DeSantis has a political history. What did he vote for? What did he vote against? What is he consistently saying? Does what he's saying matches his efforts, not what he's doing, his efforts in the political position that he's in? Because here's another mistake that people make. You think that because the person that you voted for said they were going to do something, it's not up to them to get it done. They have to unite with other members of the government to vote something in. I want I don't know, I want cheaper work boots. I want the work boots that all truck drivers use to be no more than $50. And here comes the one politician that says, okay, I'm going to go in there and fight, and I'm going to get you guys work boots that are for truck drivers that are no more than $50. Okay, that's what you want. So I'm going to vote him. I'm going to vote on him. And once he's in there, for some reason, people think, oh, he said he was going to do it, but he's not getting it done because he's not the only one that has to get this thing voted through. It's got to be a majority. It's got to be a bunch of people that vote for the same thing. He can go in there and do exactly what he said he wanted to do. He can go in and say, guys, this is what I want to do. I know there's 400 and some odd members of the House, but this is what I want to do for truck drivers. Okay, maybe 30 members of the House might agree with him. He's doing what he said he was going to do, but is he going to get it accomplished? That depends on the other 400 and whatever members of the House. Because if the other members of the House say, well, okay, that sounds great, but I got something more important than the boots.
Did you
So
see what
I'm not
happened?
gonna.
No. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So yeah, that's nice and that's beautiful that you want to do this for truck drivers, but I got something more pressing. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to join you on this. And there could be another 360 other House members that say the same thing. So what's that one House member that you voted for? What are the possibilities of him being able to achieve that? Zero. Is he a liar? No, he's not a liar. He went and made the effort to try to get that, but he can't do it by himself. That's not how this government works.
Nope. You're right about that.
He needs a bunch of other people that are going to, and yeah, they might go along with him, but they might have to negotiate something. I'll go with you with the boots, but you got to come with me with this other thing. Oh man, I don't know if my constituents are going to like that. Well, if you want me to join you with the boots, this is what you got to give me. It's a negotiation process. It's not cut and dry how people think. It's not like that.
Did you see at the end of the DNC when they were telling each state to the approval of Kamala Harris what happened with California?
What do you mean? What happened in California?
California does not approve of her running for president.
Well, the majority do. So she's in.
Yeah. But
That's part
I'm
of the
just trying to tell
process,
you,
and that's fine.
her home,
That's okay.
her, her
Her home state, yeah, yeah, that's
her,
fine.
her home state ain't the best, ain't doing well, and there's a history behind her.
And that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's not.
You gotta, well, you gotta put her history on the scale, and you gotta see
Oh, it's
how it
out
weighs
there.
against the competition. That's fine. It could be out there, but again, you gotta put it on a scale.
What do you
When
mean?
you're a supervisor,
You
okay,
think
okay, you
think
gotta.
wait. You think that Trump and Kamala are not as bad as evil? Both of them are not evil.
No,
Both of
not
them are
on the
not
same
evil.
scale. They're not on the
Yes, I
same
do.
scale. No,
To me,
no, they're
they are.
not. For to you, but they're not. The
To me,
reality
they
is that
are.
they're
You know
not.
why?
That's the same.
You know why?
That's the same as saying. That's the same as saying that a burglar is worse than a burglar that kills, a murderer. They're not the same. Yeah, they both steal, but one kills and one doesn't. Is not one worse than the other? Who would you
Both
rather
of them
have
are.
burglarize your home? No, they're not the same.
No, I don't want none. I don't want none of them.
Well, you only have two choices.
Hey,
Whether
that's the
you
reason
like it
why
or not, that's what's
I got
there.
two. That's the
And
two
like
choices.
and like
But
the example I'm giving you, if somebody's gonna burglarize your house while you're home, which of the two would you rather have to confront? The one that kills or the one that doesn't?
neither.
I'm not giving you that option. Listen carefully. These are your two options because that's what we have. Two options. I'm giving you two options. You're going to get burglarized. You're going to have to confront them. Which of the two would you rather confront? The
I'll
one that
confront
kills or the
both.
one that doesn't kill? I'm
I'll
not
confront
asking you
both.
that.
I'll confront
Which
both of
would
them.
you?
You know
I didn't
why?
ask you what. I didn't ask you that. Listen to the
No.
question. I did not ask you that. Listen to the question. Which would you rather confront? The one that doesn't kill or the one that kills? Which would you
They're
rather?
both burglars. No, that's it.
It doesn't matter. One kills, one
No.
doesn't.
No, they're both equally
They're not
worthless
equal.
people.
One kills,
Yes,
one
they are.
doesn't. No, they're not equal. One
It's a
kills,
crime.
one doesn't. It
What-
doesn't
what-
matter. One
Yes, it
kills,
does.
one doesn't. No,
No.
sir. One kills and one doesn't. You're going to
They're
wind
both
up dead
burglars.
with one, and you're going to wind up alive with the other.
No,
So it's not the same. As much as you like to try to say it's the same, it is not the
it's
same.
the same. It's the same.
It is not the same.
So being that she was a prosecutor and she was the one that participated in putting more men and women to incarcerate and all the stuff that she's done to minorities
more men and more women in comparison to what?
in comparison to what?
Yeah, in
To a
comparison
lot of
to
the
who?
things that, well, there's another one, Bill Clinton and Biden.
Bill
Remember back
Clinton
in the
wasn't
90s?
putting Bill Clinton wasn't putting people in prison like Kamala was.
What
Because
was the
Kamala
legislation?
was a district attorney.
Yeah,
Bill
but
Clinton
that's-
was not a district attorney.
guess
Those are
what?
not the same comparisons.
Yes, it is. One,
It
two,
is
three
not
strikes,
the
you're
same
in.
comparison. No, it's not
It
the same
is.
comparison. No, it is
Let's put
not.
it this way. You
No,
got
it is
choices.
not.
Yes, it is.
A judge doesn't walk around the street, doesn't drive around the street arresting people. A cop does. So
All right.
Bill Clinton wasn't going around, going to court, condemning people. No,
So
It's
the
not
whole
the
thing
same.
with Clinton. So the whole thing with the mass incarceration back when Clinton signed that.
he made it possible by encouraging for a law to be passed. It's different. Those are not the same
It went
things.
through. It went through, and a lot of states. One of the states that
It
she
went
was in,
through, but that does not
California-
mean that the district attorneys of every state have to go along with that law the way it is written.
Okay, but she went along with it.
You got okay, fine. That's fine.
All I'm saying is, we got two candidates, and they're both equally worthless. They're both. the
They're not
same.
equal. They're not equal. No, they're not.
Yes, they
They're
are.
not equal. They are not equal.
So you're telling me.
They're by no means
you're
are they
telling me-
equal.
So you're telling me. Let me put an analogy. So you're telling me if you got your son gets caught with weed in California.
He's in trouble.
I-
He's in trouble.
He's in trouble. Yeah, and
He's
he
in
go
trouble. He's an
and he goes
idiot.
30
What are you
and he goes
doing? What are you doing with weed in your possession? What are you doing with weed in your possession?
and he goes for 30 years for life. Is that okay?
Listen,
Okay, so then here
what are you
that's my
doing?
end thought.
What are you doing? What are you doing with weed in your possession? It is not mandatory for you to walk around with weed in your possession. You've got to know what your surroundings are. There are states that are more that are
Lenient,
harsher. There are harsher with drug convictions than others. Do you know where
and
you live? Do you
I
not
know
know
where I
what
live.
state you live in? All right,
I
well then
live.
if you know where you live, then you have to have an idea as to what you could possibly be condemned for. If you don't know that, well then maybe you should learn.
And then when weed
But
was legalized,
if you do okay, so then when weed is legalized, then you can possess. But if you're
but
walking around with weed on you when the law says you're not supposed to have it and you get caught, that's on you. That's
Leo.
not on anybody else. You're
So
subjecting
then,
yourself.
so then,
Hey, that's a
we're not
personal decision. You're subjecting yourself to condemnation.
okay. So then, if the law now is illegal, why are they still in jail for that petty crime?
Well, then
Because now it's a
that's a
petty crime.
process. That's a process they got to work on.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what the argument is to keep them there. I would like to know,
there you go.
but that doesn't make it. That doesn't make her worse. That doesn't make her worse.
Oh, se me cayó, se me cayó. Okay,
What?
someone called me. No, someone was calling me. No, but I don't know. My
That
opinion.
doesn't make her worse.
That's my thoughts. You know where I'm
Oh,
going with
that's
that.
fine.
I know who I'm voting for. I don't care. I'm doing a protest vote, and that's my.
Everybody
protest
could
to
vote
go
for
with just fine.
whoever they want, but if you're gonna make a comparative analysis, it should be done correctly.
No, no. It's clearly. It's not correctly. It's clearly.
Clearly is not correct because clear has an emotional and subjective attachment. It's not objective.
Me personally, I don't trust Trump. I don't trust that girl, especially that girl.
No, that's fine. That's fine. If you don't trust, that's fine.
The
But
demons
it's
are
like
out.
and serious investors have to weigh things out. They have to become informed,
Of
and
course.
they have to be objective, not subjective.
Well, objective to what? I mean, I feel like
Objective means that you don't have any emotional attachment to anything that's being presented. The facts are the facts. The evidence is the evidence. If you don't have all of the evidence, then you should ask for all of the evidence. And once all of the evidence is present, you got to start weighing things out.
I mean, for the past year or so, we are like in a high inflation. No, no,
I
no.
already no, we're not in high inflation.
We are like
Not for the past year. Okay, so here's the data. Here's the actual data. And anybody could look this up. When was in the past 4 years, what was the highest level of inflation that we were in? And when did it happen?
the one that we are right
It-
now.
No, that's completely incorrect. It was
Well,
in
that's what-
February of it was no. It was in
February
the
what?
data is there, you could look it up yourself. It was in February of 2022, 9.1%. Where is it now?
8 point something.
No, it's not. Not even close. It's at 3% right now.
So it's at 3%. So the Federal Reserve flooded us with money from.
Hold on. Now you're going in a different direction. Hold on. You're going in a different direction.
Flooded us still money.
You're going in a different direction. We're not talking about money printing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about inflation. It was at 9.1 and it's at 3 now. So no, it is not higher. It is lower, substantially lower.
But it's been at the highest.
No. It hasn't been. No. 9%. No.
What was the highest? What was the highest?
The highest. It was somewhere around. No, not even the Great Depression, bro.
Okay, then. That's
where are you getting this narrative from? That is so incorrect. That's crazy. Listen, when Volcker was the Fed chief, is when it was the highest. It was somewhere around 19%. So how could you say that 9.1 was the highest ever? No.
So it was the time in Volcker. All right.
Yeah, 19%. Around 19%. So how could you even say that 9.1 was the high? You can't. Where is that coming from? I know that there are people out there putting out there. No, well, the data doesn't show that 9.1 is the highest. That's not what the data shows.
Well, when you look at the charts, the history charts.
When you look at the chart does not show that 9.1 was the highest. Yeah, if you want to compare it to maybe 1 year, okay, but that's not reality. So, yeah, there are people out there pumping all kinds of crazy narratives out there. And they're ridiculous. And that's what I try to warn people about. These people creating these narratives by excluding vital information only for the sake of painting a particular picture. No. And if you want to be a serious investor, you cannot allow those people to influence you. And you definitely shouldn't be repeating all that nonsense that these people are saying. You should not do that.
All these reports are all fixed. Let's put it this way. Me analytically, after I started,
the ones that were fixed when Volcker was in was at 90%. The ones that were fixed when in the past 2-3 years. That was fixed too at 9.1. So the 3% was fixed. So the ones that were being presented when Donald Trump was in office was fixed. When Obama was in office, it was fixed. When Bush was in office, it was fixed. So then they're all fixed. So then what are you going to go by? If they're all fixed, what are you going to go by?
That we got to we have to start investigating the Federal Reserve.
Are you under the belief that nobody's done that?
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Wait a minute. You're under the belief? No, well, you're no, that's completely wrong. There's a particular party that does nothing but focus on the Federal Reserve to try to hang them, to try to get rid of them, and they've been around for a very long time.
See, like the
very long time.
You know why I say this? Because all of a sudden,
understand, that's fine, but understand that what you're saying right now, this is not new. Okay? Are you familiar with the party that what's his name? Paul is in?
Which Paul?
The father and son. The father and the son.
Paul. No. Not Paul. I don't know who that Paul is.
I'll find it for you.
The thing is.
Okay. Anyway. Without even getting their name, they're called libertarians. The libertarians have been on the Fed's throat since day one. So the idea that nobody's looking into it, that's not true.
See, the reason why I'm saying this is because all of a sudden Powell talks and bam, right away, the European market or the European economy is doing well. Like it wasn't doing well before Powell talks. It's like I feel like there's a chain. There's a
When it
chain.
comes to the economy,
It's
there's
not a
so
connection.
many variables. There's so
I-
many variables that
That's what I'm saying. The Federal Reserve is connected to the European Central Bank. European Central
well,
Bank stopped
listen,
raising the interest rate.
listen, of course they're in
0.25.
communication. Of course, because economically, globally, we are all connected. And yes, if especially the most powerful economy in the world, which is the American economy, when the Federal Reserve makes a decision, it's going to impact the entire planet. So of course they're going to be in communication. Of
Well,
course.
the thing is, United States is inflation. Oh, the Europeans are in inflation. Um, the inflation is going down in the United States. Oh, we're doing so well in Europe. Like, bro, it's like I feel like the central bank and the ECB and what is it called and the Federal Reserve are the same entities. They're not different. They're the same ones. Only that one
No,
is in Europe.
they're different. They're different entities because they have different issues going on, and there's so many moving parts. Um, no one central bank's situation is the same as the other. There might be some similarities, but they are not the same. Europe has a lot of
Oh man.
socialist components. We don't have anywhere near as many socialist components here. So the decisions that we make cannot be the same, and vice
Well,
versa. It can't. They
let's not
have,
mix it.
they have,
Let's not say.
for example, they have.
Let's not use the bad word socialist. I say that
Well,
those governments,
that's what it
those
is.
governments,
That's what
what
it
they
is. They
do
got
is
socialized
They
medicine.
tax.
They got socialized schooling. They got
Well, the thing
socialized
is,
medicine,
I'll explain it to you.
and they don't
I'll
have
explain it to you.
socialized medicine here.
I will explain it to you. The reason why they have that is because all taxes being collected is being reinvested in the population.
I don't
Something
need
that we
to know
don't
the
do here.
reason. I just need to know that
That's the reason.
what they do.
We
I don't need to know that. All I need to know is that the reason why there's a difference is because of those differences that exist, like the way they use their tax money. That's
Yep.
why it is not the same central bank. The central bank has to make decisions based on how they have their things structured. We base our decisions on how we have our things structured, and it's different.
It's different, but it ain't no different when it comes to taxing.
How's that?
It's not any difference. It's the same thing.
What do you mean?
They have bracket system. They tax fuel. They tax roads. They tax a lot of things. It's the same thing. It's the same concept. There's no difference. The only thing is that United States does not invest their money in their population. They invest it in where you know it very well where it goes into the military complex. Now
Well, not okay.
you have a whole. Let's say the United States is 300 million citizens. Let's count the ones. Let's put 150 million because there's. Let's put 200. Let's put 150. What is it called? Retiree, because not the whole entire population is working. But let's put 300. There's 300 people. Out of the 300, 150
So
are
yeah, it's around
workers.
350 million.
Or 150
They-
million are working.
Well, they don't
Out of
all work
300.
because some are retired, some are underage.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. 300 million are. We can't say all of them because they're.
Well, that's
some of them are not
easy.
working.
That's easy to find out. What is the workforce in the United States? The population of the workforce in the United States. We could look it up.
Exactly. Well, and then that's the thing. The thing is that the working force is getting taxed. We're getting taxed. I think even a hell of a lot more than in Europe. My numbers, I at the way I see it, yeah. But the
Okay,
United
when you
States
say
does
the
not-
way when you say that the way I see it, it's important that you come to the table with receipts.
well, No, I could tell you what I was paying. I was paying because of my income. What I was making there, I was paying 15% income, income tax. Fuel, of course, we don't know that because those are hidden taxes. Road tax, I mean the vehicle tax, or the, what is it called? Like it's similar to the 2290 that we have for truckers. All motor vehicles have to pay a what they call a circulation tax, and that I was paying every year. I think it was $68. Um, Clothing and shopping, there's a 21% sales tax. All these taxes, yeah, it sounds like we're paying a lot, but when you think about it in the reality, it's reinvested back into the population in roads, in schools, and in healthcare, and government paperwork. People that work in the government. Not we're not talking about politicians. We're talking about that work in public offices, like in the police department, in the, I don't know, documents like marriage. The how you call this? Where you have all your documents like marriage certificate, birth certificate, people that make passport, people that make identification cards, people that work in motor vehicle, all that money is being reinvested. Now, part of that, yeah, there's a big chunk of that is part of the GDP. Whatever the country makes, from producing out of the workforce, there's an income for all the exportation and importation that the country does. That the United States administer the taxation, or the IRS basically administer it poorly, very poorly. And I'm talking about very, very poorly. There's a lot of things that they want to do. And we discussed this too. We're already discussing the person that we just said. They want to go with the Green Deal. They want to have autonomous cars. They want to get rid of the truckers with autonomous truckers. How are you going to do something like that when the infrastructure is
when you say they, who are you referring to? Who's
the government? The government.
No, it's not the government. The government doesn't want to get rid of people. No, it's not the government. The government isn't trying to. No.
The government is not trying to take out the truckers by having the corporation to lean onto the government. The government is lobbying enough.
No. It's the corporations that want to do that. It is not the government.
but the government allows it. The government doesn't say we need truckers to be.
I don't know where the government can. This is not an autocracy. This is not an autocracy. This is a capitalist nation.
Oh, you just said the word.
This is not autocracy.
You just said the word.
What word?
You just said it. That this is not,
This is not an autocracy. This is a capitalist nation. So
capitalist nation. That's what I was going to say. Not autocracy. A capitalist nation.
This is a capitalist nation. This is not an autocracy. If it was an autocracy, then the government could say, no, you're not going to do that. But it doesn't work like that here.
But that's the thing.
Correct.
So like you complain about.
No. Hold on.
Not you. The people, the government complains, not you. I'm sorry about that. Should have.
You have heard people complaining.
No, but the thing is, all right, and this is the thing when it comes to the whole thing about the open border, cheap labor, and I'm experiencing already not by once but 3 times in my life now in this 4 years. Like I told you the other day, I'm in this pilot that I stop here all the time, and I just ask them, you know where they're from? These guys, they're from Ukraine.
Who are you talking to? All right,
all the guys that are the people that are working as that are reforming the pilot, the gas station, the construction workers.
Oh, they're doing construction. Okay.
They're doing reform. They're upscaling or I don't know.
Right. They're
reforming the.
Okay, they're from Ukraine. Okay.
They're from Ukraine because I couldn't understand, and I said, "Where you guys are from? País, country." I had to say country, planet. I had to say it like this because none of them could speak not one single word in English.
Okay. And that's how you found out they were from the Ukraine.
And I was
Okay.
like, wow. So this is the second time. Now this is the third time that I encounter. Like I told you one time, I was in a Burger King, and I'm seeing a whole bunch of Chinese that they have one interpreter, and I think that there was the supervisor was one guy, and it was an American guy. I could tell because tall, big, fat,
Okay.
husky guy. You could tell. And I'm like,
And
what are these
that
guys are looking
example
for?
is to
Because
illustrate
either
what?
they make it,
What's that? What's that supposed to illustrate,
and this
though?
is to illustrate that the government is giving more leeway to
The
a lot of these
government,
immigrants that are coming in. Yeah,
the
because
government,
if the corporation,
the
if the
government, the government
corporations,
is the government the
well, the
entity that's
corporate, let's put it
rebuilding
this way.
rebuilding that truck
No,
stop?
no, that's
Who's
what I'm saying.
rebuilding?
Because
All right, so who's
a,
rebuilding
a,
the truck
comp,
stop?
a company, but if the company says
A
we need
company.
immigrants,
Where's the company
and the
from?
government says I'll bring you the
Okay, but where's
immigrants,
the
they're going to
company
cross through the
from?
border.
Where's the company from?
They're from here.
Oh, the United States?
Yeah,
Okay, so who's hiring them? Ukraine
the
ain't
American.
hiring them to work here. An American company, not the government, an American company is hiring them. For
The
some
government, and if
reason,
the company says, listen,
people
listen, I don't want to listen to me.
people
Yeah, but listen to me.
fail
I'm,
to mention that very
I,
important point. It's American companies that want
well,
cheap
I'm
labor.
gonna get yes. And who own them?
You're breaking up.
Who is allowing them to bring that cheap labor over here? While there's already laborers here, there's already manpower here, there's already people that are qualified to work here.
So why don't they hire the Americans? There are laws
That's what,
on the books. There are laws on the books that say if you hire an undocumented immigrant, you're supposed to get in trouble. And that law is on the books.
both are at fault here. That's what I'm.
Who's both?
That's the reason why I keep on saying both.
Okay. Well, why don't people talk about the corporations when the subject matter comes up? I never hear about that. I never hear about corporations. Well, okay. And if they're legal immigrants, they have every right to work. If they're legal immigrants.
Well, what if their status? What if they came in illegal and then they?
Well, then you're gonna have to find out. Because it's not all immigrants. It's not all immigrants.
That's not hard. That's not hard, Leo. That's not hard to see. What the Minnesota?
No. Not seeing. No. Stop. Not seeing. We ain't talking about seeing. We're talking about documents. We're talking about things that you can offer as evidence. This person's undocumented.
Whoa.
That's why we have an agency called ICE.
Well,
ICE.
obviously, when you have a governor of Minnesota signing a freaking legislation saying illegal immigrants are going to get free licenses.
Oh, I didn't hear about free licenses. I heard about licenses, but I didn't hear about free licenses. I heard about licenses. And guess what? What does that mean when you have a license? Does that mean you can drive? You can drive to
and drive.
No. You can't. No, you can't vote. That's incorrect. I looked. I know you can't. No, it's not. I know you can. I looked into that. You cannot. Just because you have a license does not mean you can vote. That's why this whole idea of having IDs to go to vote is ridiculous. Because an ID doesn't mean you can vote. You got to be on the voter registration, and in order for you to be on the voter registration, you got to present certain proof.
Well, the thing is, it just catches my attention that I feel that both of them are at fault. Corporations and government. Corporations and government.
The government ain't saying to the corporations here, hire these people. No, they're not saying that. The government is saying, listen, there are laws. They can't babysit every person, every corporation in the world. or in the country. They can't. They don't have.
Everything.
There's no time to be able to do that. You have agencies that are responsible for tracking people down. You got agencies that are responsible for going to businesses and saying, "Let me see the list of people that you are employing. We got to check it out." And if that's such a big deal, guess who used to hire undocumented immigrants all the time? Huh? Trump. Trump used to hire undocumented immigrants all the time. Why did he do that? You didn't have to pay him anything. You didn't have to pay him much. Because what are they going to do? Okay, so if you work over here, if you clean this hotel room, yeah, I could pay you minimum wage, $10 an hour. But if you are undocumented a citizen, not citizen, but if you're an undocumented immigrant, I'm going to pay you $3 an hour. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing that immigrant can do about. They're going to work because they need to eat, and they're going to work for the $3 an hour, and they're going to shut their mouth because there's nothing that they can do. And
what's going on?
What do you mean it sounds familiar? It sounds familiar with what? That's what Trump used to do.
And
that's what Trump used to do.
And that's what this administration
is doing. No. That's not what this administration is doing. No? Where the hell are you getting this from? No. The administration is not doing that. No.
It's proof. I see them right there.
What proof? Right see what? In front of what are you talking about seeing? What are you talking about seeing? Right there.
You don't need proof.
Who are these people? What do you mean under the table? How do you know that they're there under the table? How do you know that there's no kind of agreement with Ukrainians to be able to work here? Because there are special visas for that.
And Chinese. Oh, yeah, you just said it. Special visas. There you go. And what's been happening in the past 4 years? I'm glad that you said that.
Past 4 years? Listen, it's not past 4 years. The visas that I'm talking about ain't past 4 years. It's long before
really?
4 years. Long. Yeah, really. That's how the farmers hire immigrants under that special visa so that they can work the farms, because Americans won't work those farms. Yes, that's been going on for a very long time, and that's not. And you need to look into before you start claiming something like that. It's best you go check first, because you don't know if those Ukrainians are here for that.
I got the sources from somebody that has a business. Try to get some Indians to do what is it called? This?
No, hold on. Now you're talking about some other business. No, you're saying that right in front of you. You're saying that right in front of you. The evidence is there. No, you're looking at some workers. You already asked. You found out that they're Ukrainian, but you don't know if they're there under those conditions.
He wanted to do the same thing.
Again, you're conflating two separate things.
Wait,
stay on the ones that you're seeing. What about the ones that you're seeing? Are they here without that visa?
Listen to me. You're pointing out that somebody used to do that. And guess what? During that administration, when my cousin wanted to bring...
No. Wait, hold on. You're talking about administration? No. Listen, Trump was doing that on his own. Not as the president. Before he was president, he was doing that. That's not a secret. The fact that people don't mention it, well, that's something else. But that's what he was done. He has a history of that. That's not that.
Well, the thing is, you're
talking about an administration. No, we're talking about a business owner. Trump, as a business owner, was doing this, and now all of a sudden, the immigration thing is a big deal. While he's saying that, but he's the one that was doing it. Which is crazy. That's just crazy. That's just there's no credibility there.
What do you mean?
Okay, so I'll give you an example.
I gotta laugh because my cousin, when he tried to get those I don't know what kind of visa it was, something A1 something work visa.
Yes.
They denied it all the time when this was happening during those administration years of this guy. But then all of a sudden now he's like, now I could hire anybody. I could bring anybody. As a matter of fact, I could even tell him to come in with a student
No,
visa,
no, no,
and
no,
then
no.
I'll
Hold
just
on.
flip it over
Oh
here.
yeah, okay, but with a visa, some type of visa, not just anybody. You
Student
don't call
visa,
your
not
relatives
even with a
from
work
Dominican
visa.
Republic and tell your Dominican family, "Hey, come in." No, don't, no, no. You don't need to apply for a visa. Just come in. I'll hire. No, they got to come with a visa, some kind of visa, and the visa has certain
Well, that's to make it
stipulations.
legitimate. That's to make it legitimate.
Yeah,
But the ones that are coming
exactly,
in, but the ones that are
exactly.
coming
So then,
here illegal are getting a
well,
lot
who
of.
are
Look, man.
they? You,
Look,
you,
man.
you, you.
I don't
Okay,
know.
you're talking about these
So
immigrants.
I can't.
Where
So I'm putting
are
my
these
experience.
undocumented immigrants that you're talking about? Where are they?
I'm putting. I'm putting my experience of what I've been going through for 4 years. First of all, I'm going through an economic hardship. Go to freaking apply for some funds to get some economic help from the government. They tell me either if you're not Haitian or Cuban, you don't qualify. I'm like, wow. So
Okay,
I'm just
that's happening. That could very well be happening where you applied. Okay,
that could be
but there
very
are
happening to a lot of people.
but there are. Okay, but you don't know that. That's the point. If you
My
don't know
sister's one
that,
of them.
if you don't, what do you mean?
My sister's one of them in Minnesota, and they told her, you have to
She
show
can't
us proof
apply.
that you're
She
going.
can't apply for what?
She
Oh
can't
yeah,
apply
show us
for
proof that you're going through hardship.
yeah. And even when you do, it's like, well,
Well,
are you
okay, let's be
working?
more specific. Let's be more specific because uh, two of my
Okay,
friends
so
are social service workers in New York City. Okay, I could tell you about New York City. New York City,
well,
if you
New
need
York
help
City.
financially, hold on. Let me explain. New York City, if you need help, I think it's stupid. I think it's ridiculous. But I'm going to tell you what it is. If you need help financially in New York City, from the last time I spoke to them about this, which was years ago, I don't know if it changed, but
It
this was the
probably hasn't
deal.
changed.
Okay, well, this was the deal. You went to the social services office and you explained your situation. Okay, I'm in dire need. I lost my job. I can't find another one. I got to pay rent. I got to eat. I got kids. I got a wife. I got whatever. Okay, so the social services, what they would do is they would give you temporary food benefits. Temporary. It's going to run out. And it's not for a long time either. It might be like for a month. We might give you a little bit of money for some of the rent for like 1 month. However, we need your tax returns from last year, right? And you got another 9 months to put in your tax returns. So what the hell are you going to do for 8 months while they disqualify you for what you made last year? What the hell are you going to do
Exactly.
for 9 months?
Exactly. That's what I'm
That's
gonna get at because I hear stories and I see news of people coming here illegal and they're getting more money, more help than anyone that's been living here, born and raised.
I haven't encountered that. I'm not saying that's not incorrect, but I
Well, I
haven't
mean,
encountered that.
that
And not
to
only
me
that,
count
if they're doing that, I'm going to tell you right now, I can't be concerned about that. That's why when
exactly.
I operate, when I function, and what I suggest to people and what I suggest that they do here on this channel is that you prepare yourself because there's a lot of stuff that goes on. You cannot expect, like what you're saying right now, and I agree with you 100% about that. You cannot expect the government to come over and rescue you. You cannot expect that. You can't expect
Exactly.
corporations to come to your rescue. So everybody who's on this channel right now, listen carefully. You and the professor has said this many, many times. You have to be prepared. You have to make decisions to prepare yourself for fallouts. And the fallouts occur all the time. The economy doesn't go up in a straight line. No, it runs in cycles. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. Then we go back up, then we go back down. The question is, when you're up there, are you preparing
Are
yourself for
you,
when it goes down? Because it's definitely going to go down.
that's one of the things that I was gonna get at because the funny thing is that you're saying that when I was doing very well, and I was like, wow, this is gonna help me a lot because I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna probably have enough saved to even start thinking about making an investment and this and that. Happens so 2022 comes around and it just took a dip. Mind you, the money that I had just profited has been slowly degrading. Why? Because of the fuel cost, the maintenance of my business, and everything. And it took me
It could be
almost a
for
year and a
whatever
half.
reason.
It was
Those
for a year
those
and a
in,
half, and I didn't
those
change,
incidences are going to occur.
and I
Okay?
never and my
Do you think people were prepared in 2008, 2009? Do you think they were prepared for that?
oh no,
They weren't. No, they
no,
weren't prepared. How about in 2000? They weren't prepared for that. How about 87?
87,
They weren't
nope,
prepared for that. What about the early and mid 70s? Do you think they were prepared for that?
no,
No. How about the Great Depression? Do you think people were prepared for that?
no.
No. Nobody. Many people are not prepared. Not because it never happens. You can go back in history and see time and time again when there are economic crashes. Time and time again.
But you see,
You can go back as far as you want. So the question ain't, is it gonna? You think that what we're going through now isn't gonna happen again? Of course it is. Of course it is. So my question to everybody is, if you're old enough, are you gonna remember? Because for some reason, I don't know what it is. For some people just can't remember, and they and they fall in the pit all over again.
Yep. But the thing is, you see, like when I started trucking, even before I started as an owner operator, 2018, the trucking industry has not been hit as the way it is now for the past 4 years. I mean, I was not even planning on becoming an owner operator. I was always wanting to be a company driver because I didn't want to have that head
responsibility, the headache,
that overhead on my head. So, but I happened to be bumped in right before the pandemic, like 2 months right before the pandemic, before the
it was a timing thing. It wasn't timing thing. You're not. It's not that you're a bad person. It's not that you make bad decisions.
I didn't misspend no money.
You have become a business person. You opted to become a business person. And in business, nothing is guaranteed in business. And there you go. There's a lot of risk associated with having a business.
Like I said,
what happened to you is timing. That's it. It's not that you're a dummy. You don't know what you're doing. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's time. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody has a crystal ball.
But that's the thing. Okay? What I want to tell people is that just be thinking about when the times are good. Don't go out and say, well, I'm going to get into this. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to buy a new home. I'm going to buy this. No. Stop doing that. I didn't do that. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think about.
Thank God.
As a matter of fact, we were almost, because we thought 2022 was going to be better. And mind you, I still had money. We were still looking for a home in 2022 when things were going down the drain. But, you're still thinking that things are still going to be good, Thank God that the loan required me to have 2 years of income tax as a self-employed, and I only had 1 year.
That saved you.
That saved me. Because if not, I would have been a big deeper hole than what I am right now.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Besides the hole you would have been in, did you learn things in the time from that point until now? Have you learned things about owning a home that you didn't know before?
A lot more. Forget about those FHA. Forget about those
HOA. That's a blessing.
And then let me tell you one thing, people. Florida is the highest state, one of the highest states after freaking Texas, and I don't know what other states, I think California as well, that has the most HOA communities in the country. So
can you tell people what an HOA is? Please tell them.
Homeowner association. You have to chip in every month because the state or the county, wherever you are not going to go fix your road. They're not going to fix your garden. They're not going to be trimming your trees. They're not going to be doing none of that stuff. And you got to follow certain rules inside that HOA.
Oh, that wait a minute. Can I ask you this? Can I? Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Everybody else in the HOA has only 3 colors for their houses outside. Can I paint my house uh, fire
Purple?
red
Hell
or
no.
purple? Hell no. Why not?
Because you're in a dictator HOA.
Oh,
You're
so
gonna
the
you're gonna
HOA
make
dictates
you're gonna
that. That's contractual, ain't it?
you're gonna make our neighborhood look different. You're not gonna make it look even. You're not gonna make it look
So this
beautiful.
association gets to determine what I do with my house?
Exactly.
Okay.
And
Okay.
not only that, and
I
also
got
the and
another
also the
question for
state,
you.
and also the state government, because if you stop paying that freaking tax and you're retired, you gotta listen, you own the home, you bought the home, you paid it out, you're still paying for that property till you die. You better have somebody next to king that you leave that home that will be able to pay that property, just the property itself being that the HOA or the taxes that comes with the property, because the HOA also could redeem your house. They could take your house if you don't pay it,
Wow. So
and
when
they
is it
could.
ever really mine?
It's never yours. Properties in the United States are never yours. That's why a lot of people are leaving this country and they're going overseas, especially us that we are from Latin American countries, because we know in those countries they don't have those kind of systematic um fees of I
Okay.
don't know how to say.
Now that you mentioned fees, let me ask you this about the HOA fees. Is it just one amount and it's always that amount?
No, it could start increasing as the time goes by with the cost of living. So your ass is grass. So me personally, my wife, she wants to, like, oh, I want to live in this community. I told her, listen, there's a down about 3 or 4 miles, there's a brand new neighborhood that is a neighborhood, but it's not a neighborhood. In front is more like an HOA, but in the back of that whole entire area, which is called, I don't know, it's an area. It's like, the front. It's a gated. It's not gated. It's a road, and then they have in the front of those roads they have created, a lot of houses, like it looks like HOA type. But at the way back behind those roads that you're almost going into, like, into the woods, there are homes out there. You could buy property there, and there's no HOA. Plus, you got a huge land. Plus, the tax. I was looking at some of these properties that the taxes are so low that you could even get it to not pay no taxes, because if you have what in Florida, which is a benefit. In Florida, if you start to have like a small little farm, like if you're growing goats, if you're being self-sufficient, you are exempt to pay the the taxes. Also, there's another thing. There's a catch. I mean, how you say that word? I don't know. There's a catch to all this too as well, because somebody that we know that we've been talking that has done it, and people went all crazy about it towards him. Let's say me and my wife have that property and we die and we get buried in that property. Well,
Mm-hmm.
guess what, people? My daughter doesn't have to pay for any taxes because I am buried inside that property, and that makes it totally tax exempt. Somebody did that we well know, and he's running for president. He did that with his wife. He buried her, I think, what, it's in a golf course, I don't know, or in the home or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Golf
And the
course.
reason why was that was because maybe those properties are under her name, and once she is buried into one of those properties, all those properties become tax exempt. There's no taxation on that. Oh, I got a sign there that says taxation is theft. Did anybody realize that? We just started talking about that.
Everybody realized that.
Exactly. That's why we want to make people aware, and I hope that the government sees this, because taxation is theft in all ways of form. Um, there's a lot of ways that you could do it. If a rich person does it, believe me, you, the working class, even if you have W two,
Okay.
you could do
I
it
want
as
to say
well.
something about what you're saying right now. Okay. Uh, in this country, you can do what the wealthy does. if you
Exactly.
choose to. If you want to reduce your tax burden the way the wealthy do, you can do it too. Now, if you're not doing that,
Then there's
that's not
something
anybody
wrong.
else's fault.
No, there's something
That's
wrong
not
with you.
anybody else's fault.
You're allowing it to
If
happen.
it's because if it's because you don't know, there are ways of learning. So before anybody starts to go crazy that the wealthy are getting away with this and getting away with, you can do the
Stop
same
point.
thing here in
Yeah.
this country. You may not
Stop
be able to
pointing
do that in
fingers.
other countries. Exactly. But you can do it here. You could definitely do it here.
And and going back to that about
Mm-hmm.
being buried in your own property. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how did everybody react when Trump did it? Oh my God, he's crazy. You see, he's a nutball. Blah, blah. Well,
Well,
guess
no.
what?
People who didn't know were doing that.
Yeah, but he knows that you could do that. The thing is that
Well,
when
there are
they
other
came
people.
out,
There are other people that know that too. It's just that
yeah,
people who know things like that don't just come out and
of
tell the
course not.
entire world, "Hey, yeah,
Well, guess what? Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby knows about it as
there
well.
you go."
And
Vanilla
Ice
Nice did
Baby,
his homework.
you better watch out because Ice Baby could be if you don't pay your property tax, it might be that he'd be knocking on your door and saying Ice Baby because that's what
Right.
his business is all about. He goes after
Mm-hmm.
tax liens. He goes after county tax liens, and he's a shark. So Ice Baby could be knocking on your door if you don't pay your dues after
He
you
might
pay
be
your
icing your
property.
door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So stop people being, it's a double-edged sword when it comes to politics and corporations and a lot, and especially the IRS. It's a double-edged sword because you could do whatever the rich is doing. It's just how you get that information and how you process it and how you do it. There's a lot of things you could buy right now. You could buy $1 million home property. I mean, it's probably raggedy down the drain, but there's some property out there that nobody has paid their taxes on, and you go into that county and you say, I want to see the properties that are owing taxes here. The county will release that information towards you, and you could probably buy $1 million home, $2 million home mansion for like $10,000, and it's
Yep.
yours. Once you get that tax lien, that lien is yours. Once you pay it, you could do whatever you want with that property because now you're paying for that property's tax. You could rebuild it, you could reform it, whatever it is, and you could, sell the house, flip
You
it
can
over.
get you
I'm
some
I'm
sizzling.
I already give you a business model that you could just, if you're a 9 to 5 worker, W-2, I just gave you the open doors right now for you to become a multi-million dollar, mogul like Trump. So I'll leave it up to that. I mean, take it away, Mr. Richard Burns. What do you
That
have to
made me
say about
hungry,
that?
bro. That made me hungry. Let me tell you.
What do you think?
I'm gonna
What do you
stop
think
at
about
this.
that idea?
No, I mean
What do you think?
that's out there. That's out there, and like everything else that you offer people, it's only 2% that are gonna actually follow through with that. Only 2%.
I just gave you I gave them. Hey, this is not financial advice. I just said that is out there. I'm not giving you the step by step how to do it because I know how to do it. It's just that I'm not at that point to invest at that point to do that. But if I had the money funds to do that, oh, you wouldn't be seeing me in this truck. That's for sure. And it's a big money income. There's there's ways
Well,
of
I've
doing
been
it, but
I was
you
in
was
real
one of
estate
them. Yeah, you was one of them.
for a time.
But the
Yeah,
thing is, I don't plan on owning property to rent. Hell with that. I'm not gonna have that headache
that
in my
headache.
head. That's no. I'd rather just sell it. Hey, look, I got that big property. How much you selling for? $20 million. Of course, I'm gonna be moving more money. That means I'm gonna be paying a lot more taxes. Now I got to take care of my taxes. I gotta find out how I should from that 20 million. How do I what? What is that model you just said? It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep.
Keep. Yep.
Is that the word that you be using, Mr. Burns?
All the
Oh,
time.
so you don't need to own the property and keep it. You could just sell it. It's how much you make. It's not how much you
That
make, it's how
counts.
much you keep.
How much you keep, that counts.
I don't know. People, don't. This is not financial advice. So
How much you keep.
you
Look
could
at.
do the same thing.
I'll give you a prime. If you're from the hood, here's a
I just gave
prime
him a.
example of people that make a lot of money and keep nothing of it. Your local drug dealer. There it
Yep.
is. Make
They
tons of
fucking.
money and lose it
I
all.
see. They make a lot of money and they don't know where to put it in. But
No, they
you
lose
know
it
what?
all. They get caught. They get snitched on. They get locked up. They have to spend a fortune on attorneys. The government takes your money, takes your property, because the way you acquired that money, the way you acquired that property was through illegal means, so they can take it. And they take all of it.
Yep. All of it.
Yeah. Yeah, for a while.
Can I ask you a question
Uh,
though? If
yeah,
the drug dealers had, if the drug dealers had that information that I just gave out, you think that they could?
they'll lose it.
No, no, no. Let's say they stop doing the drug dealing thing. And
Oh,
they got
okay.
like $20 million,
Well, they're gonna have to.
$40 million.
They're gonna have to figure out how to move all that money.
Well, the thing is, you buy it. You buying properties and you're selling it.
No,
You
you
buying
can't.
property.
Yeah, but there's an exchange of money, and once there's an exchange of money of over a $10,000, you got some explaining to do. Yeah, I'll give you a case. Here's a case. There was a mobster, I think out of Rhode Island or Connecticut or something like that.
I think it was
There
Rhode
was a
Island.
mobster. He was under federal observation, uh, criminal investigation. That mobster hired a carpenter to expand his house, I think by one room or something like that. And he
Oh
paid
yeah,
him
I
in
remember
cash.
that. I
He paid
remember
him
that.
in cash. The cash amount was over $10,000 because that carpenter received money from someone who was under federal criminal investigation in an increment that was over $10,000. That carpenter wound up doing time.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing that case.
And that carpenter wasn't engaging in a criminal activity, but he received over $10,000 that.
Hello? Hello?
I guess I
Okay.
said too much, bro.
No, it just went on and off. Am I there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. I'm back.
Okay. You're back. Richard Burns.
Richard
Well,
Burns is back.
I mean, I like to get into these conversations with you because we have interesting idealism that goes off the charts, but then it goes back into like we all come into common sense of what's going on in reality. Because nothing is different. I feel like nothing is different when it comes to like like law. The only thing is that is applied to a certain group more than to others. That's all I see. Certain things are applied
Okay,
to a certain
so
group than others.
when I
But
started
if it,
when I started my other channel, what you're saying
yeah,
right now, that's one of the points I brought up. There are people that say that, you know, money isn't everything, it's not important, blah blah blah.
yeah,
Guess
whatever.
what? Exactly, because like you're saying, justice has a price in this country, whether people want to believe that or not. It's not the same when you're given a what do they call these attorneys? These court-appointed attorneys,
Yeah,
public defenders. Very different when you have a public defender defending you from a high-paying lawyer defending you. It's different.
Of course,
So, so
of course. But
our medical system depends on how much money you have. Our court systems depend on how much money you have. Our educational system depends on how much money you have. So, yeah,
it all
keep it
depends on who
real.
has. It all depends on who has enough money. Yep. Keep it real. That's what I say.
Hmm.
Think people keep it real? No. But like I say, there's a lot of things that, and with the information that we have in our hands, which is the phone, computers, internet, is out there. There's so
Hmm.
much out there. Now, to start off with whatever I said before, yeah, it involves money and it involves huge amount of risk. Huge amount of
Yes.
risk. But those risks, you got to be prepared. You got to mentalize yourself that whatever you're profiting is not for you just to keep, and you gotta maintain that profit to use it for your business. I think a lot of people fail is because when they see so much money in their account as a self-employed or
They go.
self
They
or
start spending money they shouldn't be spending.
exactly. And me and my wife, we didn't, like I said, 2022 came in. We didn't. I'm telling you, I didn't. My spending did not change. What changed was the increase of prices of fuel, food, rent. All my everything went up, but what went down? My rate for the same job that I was doing went
The
substantially
loads,
low.
the rates on the loads.
The rates on the lows and the fuel went up.
Sorry. Yeah.
I don't know. What time is it? Because I gotta drive tonight at 9:45. What time is it now?
Yeah. We
Oh,
can cut it off here. We can cut it off here.
but it was interesting for you guys. I just want to give you. We want to give you some insight. Stop following these people. I mean, I follow, but I try to get my sources straight. Sometimes I don't. We're not perfect. I don't think none of us are perfect. Me and Leo here are not. Oh, Mr. Burns, we're not perfect at all. We still do mistakes, but we're trying to give you information that mindset to change, because it's sadly, because when it comes to us, the people that are with that never had that connection with wealth,
With money and
and we are
business.
the
Yeah.
one when we are not connected to that type of wealth, we want to be act like we are wealthy, but we're not. We have to keep whatever we make. It's not what we make, it's how much we keep, and that's the
Oh, that
importance.
counts.
Hey man, if you want to be an eagle, you can't hang out with the chickens,
Aha! You can't hang with the chickens. You want to fly high? Got to get away from those chickens, man. These
because they'll
people
pluck your
who,
feathers.
yeah, they'll pluck you up.
And like I
They
said,
will pluck you up.
I have a logo on my live right now, right here. Taxation is theft. Maybe Mr.
There it is.
Richard Burns may not agree with me 100%, because we do need some
It's all good
taxation in
though.
something. We do
Need it
no, I agree. We
for
need
some
taxation,
things.
but yeah, but we need taxation. But the thing is,
They can scale
it's
back.
over.
They can scale back.
Yeah, this overkill. Come on, man. It's overkill. It's very
It's too
overkill.
much. Okay.
Like, all right, an example is us truckers. People think, oh, I pay. People think the regular people think, oh, I pay a lot of money in taxes. Do you know how much taxes we truckers pay, especially our owner operator
No
with their
idea.
authority?
They have no idea.
Look, right now,
They
it
have
just came
no
in
idea.
through the IRS. The IRS has a taxation for heavy vehicle tax, it's called, which is the same thing I think in Connecticut or Rhode Island that you have to pay, or Massachusetts that you have to pay like a fuel. What is it
Everywhere
called?
in the entire country.
Is
IFTA.
it?
It's in the entire
Yeah,
country.
and IFTA. There's an IFTA
That's federal.
tax. Yeah, we got the IRS tax, which is the heavy vehicle tax. That's $560. We got the IFTA, which is every 3 months, and that depends on which state we run. That we will get charged more or less that week. That
The
that month.
2290, is that the one you mentioned first?
Yeah, the 2290. Then you got that IFTA tax. Then you got the fuel tax that me and everybody pays for, and it's expensive. And our roads, how our roads are, it's deplorable. Our civil engineers, I don't know if there's any civil engineers here watching, but you better get your heads out of your ass because I don't know what you think when it comes to making these roads. I'm sorry to tell you that. And then they want to be autonomous on, we want to have cars that drive by themselves. How? When we got deplorable roads. We got roads that are in construction for years. And you want to think that a car could drive by itself? Mind your truck? Not too
Mm-hmm.
long ago, what happened? I think it was an I-80 Tesla truck went up in smoke.
Last week.
Exactly. And we want to have
It was an
these kind of,
autonomous truck, if I'm not mistaken.
was it driving by itself? I don't know. The thing is, it went up in smoke. Who's gonna clean up all that stuff? That's hazardous material, lithium,
And
the
and and
batteries.
does anybody know just how intense those fires are? Those battery fires are? Does
They're
anybody
very
know how
bad.
intense they are? Oof. Listen, it's a nightmare trying to pour it,
I just
put
say
those
that
things out.
certain people pay a lot more taxes, and they take us for granted for less, as we're the low lives. But if it wasn't
You don't
because of the
have to. Don't
truckers,
forget. You don't have
if it
to.
was,
Remember, you could do
if it
what the
wasn't,
wealthy do.
yeah, if exactly. But how does the world? I want to know, how does Prime and Swift get away with paying not paying the 2290? I want to know if they get a discount. I want to know if they
Gotta
get a
find
discount
out.
for IFTA. I want to know if they get a discount on the fuel. They don't have to pay the taxes.
Well, because they buy in bulk.
Ah, we're the little guys. We can't get that because we don't buy in bulk. Oh, okay.
Buy in bulk.
Let's put it this way. If it wasn't because of the transportation system here, I don't think just a common driver or consumer will see better roads than what it is now. I mean, the roads are already bad, but they could get better if they know how to administrate the money better. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
my time is going to be up in smoke
Yeah,
because I gotta go to sleep soon. And you, I think you're gonna go and have a hearty meal.
big
Is that a new
time. You know where
Cascadia?
I'm going.
You got a new
Huh?
Cascadia? Is that a new Cascadia?
No,
I've been
I had to swap out because my truck went
really.
to the shop. Yeah, my truck went to the shop.
So you got your bling blings in there?
I got the bling right here, man. I didn't leave the bling out.
Yeah, because I'm looking
Later
at
on, I'm
that
gonna
chair.
put up what? Oh yeah, you see it? You see the background?
Yeah, the background, the chairs are the from the new Cascadia. Is that a 2023
Yeah, I think so.
or has digital dash?
No, it's got to be 2022. It's digital. It's
Is
got over
digital
500. Yeah, it's got over five. It's got almost 570,000 miles.
with a digital dash? Holy smack!
Yeah. Well, no,
Does it
it's
come
not
with the?
complete digital. It's not all
Oh, okay,
digital.
it's like mine's.
Yeah. There's a
All right.
centerpiece that's digital.
Yeah, the
Tells you
centerpiece
the
is digital.
yeah, but everything else
Well,
is
people,
needles.
yeah, the needles. Yeah. Well, people, I'm gonna be out cold. It was good seeing you guys. Let's
Yeah,
go
thanks
see.
for coming, man. Yo, the professor has been asking about you left, right, and center, bro.
Who's this professor? I don't know.
Tara Helms, the
Oh,
professor. I call her the professor. Yeah, man. She was every time she comes on, she's
yeah.
asking, "Where's Tony T? Where's Tony T?"
I'm in my world,
I
man.
try, well, I try to
Yeah,
explain to her that our schedules don't match a lot of
yeah.
times.
We're like at nighttime. I'm a nighttime driver, so I'm driving. I'm gonna be driving all night from 9:45 p.m. all the way to like I don't know until I could get up to Florida. I'm in
PM.
Kentucky. I'm in Kentucky.
I'm about to enter Maryland, so you already
Oh
know.
man, Bethesda. Say hi to Locky. Is it Locky Martin and Raytheon there?
I think Raytheon
Raytheon. Locky's not from Bethesda.
Sikorsky's up in Connecticut.
Wow,
So is
Sikorsky.
yeah,
Are they still
Sikorsky. When was
around?
the last time you heard about? Yeah, they're still around. I think they got bought by
Locky?
uh United Technologies.
Oh,
They own a lot of stuff. I think they own Pratt and Whitney now. Pratt and
wow,
Whitney's in Connecticut
Sikorsky.
too. Yeah,
Pratt Whitney?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, guys. I'll
All
let you
right.
guys go.
So stay fresh, man. Keep it moist. Oh, the professor hates that word. Keep it profitable, y'all.
You should put
Okay.
Kitty, man.
Who?
Kitty.
Oh,
We miss
I don't know how to
Kitty.
put Kitty on. Yeah, Kitty takes over, man. Kitty be
takes
hanging
over.
around the bad neighborhoods. You see him. You see Kitty how he rolls.
All right, people.
All right,
Have a
kid.
good night.
All right, everybody. See ya.
Hey.